Wet Cats vs. the United States of America. February 26, 2019 by Anna von Reitz. All this while Destry has not been forthcoming with me, and neither has the Michigan General Jural Assembly. If they had told me up front that they were trying to construct some kind of half here, half there interim assembly that included U.S. citizens of all kinds, I would have told them also up front that such a thing isn't possible, and that there is no interim involved. The idea of an interim government comes from the idea that our government has ever been held in abeyance. It hasn't. Our government has been misled, misrepresented, misdirected, confused, lied to, and suffered gross breach of trust, but it has never ceased to function. At most, a portion of our government ceased to function, but as it happens, the least important part, the Confederation of States doing business as the States of America. As this portion of our government was composed of incorporated states of states chartered by our states, it is really no big deal for our states to reconstruct these organizations and put new corporations in the field to provide the federal portion of the service contract known as the Constitution for the United States of America. We simply didn't do it because nobody made an honest effort to inform us that it hadn't been accomplished already a long time ago. Instead, they usurped upon us in the name of helping us, and put in their own commercial corporations to act as states of states instead, and used these foreign organizations as a means of controlling and stealing our resources and abusing our people. The British King acted in deceit and in breach of trust to substitute his own territorial states of states organizations for our own federal states of states. Most Americans weren't sharp enough to catch the difference between the state of Georgia and the state of Georgia, nor the difference between the United States of America and the United States of America. But now, thank God, we are awake and on the move. And home again. We can have new federal states of states rechartered and up and running in a matter of weeks, once we get our own political status records corrected and our actual state assemblies in place. Once our states assemble, they can act upon their own business, and they can act as members of the United States of America to put everything back in its proper place. We can enroll the western states as full members in the United States of America. We can settle BLM's hash on the issue of grazing rights owed to ranchers. We can put an end to the buying and selling of water rights that already belong to the people of this country. And so much more. This can be done peacefully and without endangerment or rancor, simply by enforcing the public law, including the constitutions, and the treaties we are heir to. Once we reclaim our birthright political status, nobody has any right to say boo to us on our own soil, including the Queen and the Pope. I am by far not the only one to say this and to bring it to public attention. I already gave you all the example of Richard McDonald's YouTube video about state citizenship. Is he supposed to be some kind of evil Vatican agent, too? How about the books of Bill Dixon, Without Prejudice and The Great Mystery Babylon? Are his words somehow compromised? He is telling you the same information that I have shared. God knows, the John Birch Society has been trying to get this same information out for decades, but they were attacked by propagandists, too. Belittled. Pooh-poohed. Portrayed as know-nothing rednecks and racists and whatever else, but they have been right all along. They've told us the truth about our own country. It's always something thrown in the way to stop the truth from getting out, but not this time. This time it goes viral, and no amount of self-interested mudslinging and no amount of ignorance or fear is going to stop it. There's a big difference between the states and the states of states, and you are now going to learn what that difference is and who you are. And get a clue, if you aren't actually employed as a federal civilian or military employee or dependent of a federal civilian or military employee, and not voluntarily working as an unpaid federal employee, you are no kind of U.S. citizen at all and never have been. Time to step back into your American state citizen shoes. To tell the truth, I never did much like the name National Assembly, because there can be many, many nations all inhabiting the same space, but there can only be one American people operating the United States of America. All this pussyfooting and dissembling about a National Assembly without explicitly saying which nation is being assembled didn't suit me. It reeked too much of other games that have been played with words like national security, all without mentioning which nation's security was involved. And I didn't like the wishy-washy of not declaring one's political status, either. The excuse was used that, since we have nearly all been misidentified as U.S. citizens, that meetings should be open to all, and certainly, open and public meetings are desirable in any case. However, in order to actually function as state assemblies, we have to correct our records and declare our political status, and there is no way around that. In the world of pretenses that has been built around us, the federal government, composed of foreign commercial corporations in the business of providing us with governmental services, is still at war. The mercenary conflict that began in 1860, according to them at least, has never been resolved, and so, this is the excuse for our own under-contract army to occupy our states and harass our people. And until you declare yourselves as American state citizens and third parties with respect to all their mercenary nonsense, they will happily misidentify you as one of their own soldiers, either territorial or municipal, lost at sea or lost on the battlefield. It's time to put an end to all this self-interested and predatory BS. Time to wake up, folks. Time to declare who you are. Time to come home to your actual State of the Union and the United States of America. Forget about any unspecified National Assembly. What we need is an American States Assembly, pure and honest and built solid from the ground up. Those who want that, stick with the information and the guidelines being provided on my website, www.annavonreitz.com. Please hit subscribe, like, share, embed, and get ready for many more Anna Von Reitz article videos.